We've made it to our final destination. After having collected all 8 gym badges and traversed through the perilous Victory Road, we're feeling confident as we step into the first room at the Indigo Plateau to face the Elite Four. Very quickly though, this confidence wears away as we approach the first trainer. She has a very focused and rather cold look in her eye, and come to think of it, this room is cold too. As we approach her, she introduces herself and we prepare for a battle that's about to give us a serious reality check. Lorelei, the former Ice-type Elite Four member of the Indigo Plateau and the first Elite Four member that we face in any of the main series Pokemon games. Lorelei is known for her logical, cool, and calculated style of battling, which made her a great sort of gatekeeper for the Elite Four. In Gen 1, we don't learn a whole lot about her aside from the fact that she is relentless in battle, saying our Pokemon will be at her mercy when they're frozen solid, for instance, and she's quite confident in her skills. Even though as an Elite Four member she's obviously aware of her status in the top echelon of Pokemon trainers, Lorelei still has an element of humility about her despite her position. After she's defeated, for instance, she says, "You're better than I thought. Go on ahead. You only got a taste of Pokemon League power," showing us that she doesn't blindly consider herself to be the best of the 5 League trainers. Thankfully, Gen 3 gives us a much better idea of who Lorelei is as a person. We first find out that she didn't actually grow up in mainland Kanto, but instead grew up on 4 Island in the Sevi Islands, where she caught her Lapras as a child in the Icefall Cave, and has been with it ever since. At that very same cave, during our journey through the islands, we surprisingly encounter Lorelei, where we see a bit of her morality shine through when some Team Rocket members are poaching Pokemon. Similar to Lance, Lorelei is absolutely unforgiving in dealing with them, and is not above threatening violence for greater causes, saying things like, "Keep your filthy hands off the Pokemon, do as I say or you'll have me to answer to." After defeating them, she calls them despicably weak, promises to smash the Team Rocket remnants once and for all, and threatens to deep freeze them too. In the Pokemon Yellow remakes, we have a very similar encounter with her right beside the Cerulean Gym, which so happens to be the gym of one of her greatest admirers, Misty. Perhaps she was there to train her, who knows? Citing worries about the safety of her hometown and family, Lorelei brings up the idea of leaving the Pokemon League to protect 4 Island. Since Red cleared out the rest of Team Rocket, she decides against this initially, but her eventual departure from the Indigo Plateau is largely thought to have been for this reason. Cold, relentless, and calculative in battle, yet morally upstanding and loving outside of battle, it seems we're dealing with someone who has the perfect trainer mentality. Lorelei certainly serves as a challenge in our first battle, but is it possible that she was actually holding back? It's time to see how strong Lorelei really is by looking at all of her appearances in the main series games to construct her best possible team. It's time to find out her true power. The first time we encounter Lorelei is of course in the first Pokemon games ever, Red and Blue, where she serves as the first member of the Indigo Plateau Elite Four. Hearing so much about the Elite Four throughout the game and having never battled them before, we don't really know what to expect. But Lorelei is quick to show us what they're all about. In this battle, she begins with a level 54 Dugong, followed by a level 53 Cloyster, a level 54 Slowbro, a level 56 Jinx, and a level 56 Lapras. Overall, her team is quite bulky, and without an electric type, it proves to be quite a difficult battle, since she can take care of grass types quite well with her Pokemon's ice typing. Lorelei can also be battled in Red and Blue's third version game, Pokemon Yellow. Even though she has the same 5 Pokemon at the same levels, they do have improved movesets, including Bubble Beam on the Dugong, which previously didn't have a Stab Water move, the stronger Ice Beam instead of Aurora Beam on Cloyster, and Stab Surf and Stab Psychic on Slowbro in place of Water Gun and Growl. In the Red and Blue remakes, Fire Red and Leaf Green, Lorelei can actually be battled on 2 separate occasions, unlike in the originals, and this is where we truly start seeing what she's capable of. In our first battle, she operates with the same 5 Pokemon, but all 2 levels lower. However, we can't forget that they now have access to their abilities, their movesets are significantly improved, and her Lapras now holds a Citrus Berry to make it even more difficult to take down. However, Fire Red and Leaf Green also give us the opportunity to rematch the Elite Four after we've become the champion. And in this battle, Lorelei shows us more of her true strength and also has a brand new member on her team. In this rematch, she starts out with a now level 64 Dugong, her Cloyster now at level 63, a brand new Piloswine at level 63, her Jinx now at level 66, and her Lapras now also at level 66. The final game in which we can encounter Lorelei is in the Pokemon Yellow remakes Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. The first time we battle her in these games is under similar circumstances to the originals, where we challenge her at the Elite Four for the first time, where this time she's got Dugong, Jinx, Cloyster, and Slowbro all at level 51 and her Lapras at level 52. However, similar to Fire Red and Leaf Green, we also get the chance to rematch her in these games where she has yet another new addition. In the rematch, she starts with her Dugong and Jinx at level 61, followed by a brand new Alolan Sandslash at level 61, showing us that she might have traveled to Alola to train, then her Cloyster and Slowbro at level 61, and finally her Lapras at level 62. It's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Using all of her appearances in the main series Pokemon games, let's construct Lorelei's best possible team. The first pick for Lorelei's best team is going to go to an interesting one, her Piloswine from her Fire Red and Leaf Green remake team, in which it's at level 63. However, since many years have passed since then and its evolution technically wasn't a thing when these games released, we can probably assume that she has leveled it up at least one level with the ancient power moves since then in order to evolve it into a powerful Mamoswine at level 64. In the full Pokédex Gen 7 metagame, Mamoswine is currently in the UU tier, and it has great base stats with a massive 110 in HP and 130 in attack, along with a decent speed for such a bulky Pokemon too. With moves that Lorelei has on it like Massive Power, Stab Earthquake, and Rock Slide for coverage, along with the potential for Stab Priority Ice Shard or Ice Fang via level up, and the ability to use Stealth Rock via TR, Mamoswine is an impressive tank that is sure to cause trouble for anyone battling Lorelei, especially with its ground typing being able to deal with electric types both offensively and defensively, which are otherwise a problem for her team. The second spot belongs to Lorelei's Slowbro from her Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee rematch team, in which it's at level 61. Slowbro is in the RU tier in competitive battling and has amazing base stats, with everything but its speed being between 75 and 110, and has particularly great HP, defense, and special attack, making it an option for a physical wall and or especially offensive tank on this team. With moves that Lorelei has on it like Stab Surf and Stab Psychic, along with Flamethrower for fantastic coverage, and the ability to have Amnesia to raise its special defense, Slack Off to recover half of its HP, and Stab Scald with a chance to burn, Slowbro is an incredible tank and wall that can stop opposing teams in their track if they're not careful. The third slot is going to go to Lorelei's Cloyster from her Fire Red and Leaf Green rematch team, in which it's at level 63. Cloyster is in the RU tier of competitive battling, however it performs amazingly well even in the upper tiers, being top 60 in both OU and even Ubers, which has over 1,000 Pokemon if you include different forms and Mega Evolutions. Every single Pokemon besides Mega Rayquaza. Although Lorelei's Cloyster has the Shell Armor ability, which is still good, since it's not a hidden ability, she could definitely use an ability capsule to change it to Skill Link, which automatically makes multi-hit moves hit a guaranteed 5 times. Cloyster can learn Shell Smash by Move Reminder, which raises its attack, special attack, and speed, which, combined with its insane defense stat, makes it ridiculously threatening. With Stab Multi-Hit Icicle Spear bred onto it for 125 base power, along with Stab Priority Ice Shard, Stab Hydro Pump, and the possibility of hazard moves like Spikes or Toxic Spikes, Cloyster is a terrifying sweeper addition to this team. The fourth spot on this team is going to go to Lorelei's signature Pokemon, her level 66 Lapras from her Fire Red and Leaf Green rematch, which is tied as her highest level Pokemon. Lapras is not amazing competitively speaking, being untiered, but so are the rest of Lorelei's Pokemon. Lapras's base stats are actually really good, all being between 80 and 130 aside from its speed, and it balances Slowbro's physically defensive capabilities by being able to pull off a specially defensive tank role. With moves that Lorelei has on it like Stab Hydro Pump and Stab Ice Beam, along with Dragon Pulse and Psychic for coverage, and the possibility of Thunderbolt to take care of opposing water types which might wall this team, Lapras is a solid core, and it's no wonder that it's Lorelei's favorite. And the second last spot is going to go to Lorelei's Jinx from her Fire Red and Leaf Green rematch team, in which is also at level 66. Jinx is untiered, but in my opinion is honestly one of the more underrated Pokemon out there, as weird as it may be. Jinx's base stats aren't amazing, but it does have insane special attack along with good special defense and speed. Its ability also allows it to be immune to water type moves and gain back a quarter of its health if it's hit by one, which could be a good switch-in idea for incoming super effective water moves against Mamoswine. With great stab moves like Psychic and Ice Beam, along with Lovely Kiss to put the opponent to sleep, Shadow Ball for more coverage, and possibly even Nasty Plot via TR if Jinx ends up being put into Sword and Shield. Since Lorelei didn't breed Nasty Plot onto it, Jinx can certainly pull off some surprises on this team. And the final spot for Lorelei's best team is going to go to one of her later additions, her Alolan Sandslash from her Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee rematch team, which is at level 61. Alolan Sandslash has mediocre base stats with a great attack and defense, and pretty cool typing whose quad fire weakness is covered quite well by the rest of her team. With moves like Stab Iron Head, Stab Priority Ice Shard, and Stab Icicle Crash through Move Reminder, along with Earthquake for coverage, Sandslash rounds out the team really well with coverage and could even become a speedy threat with its Slush Rush ability, which could definitely be set up by either itself or Mamoswine if Lorelei wanted. Although this is definitely Lorelei's best team, we of course can't forget her level 64 Dugong as an honorable mention. The only reason we're not including this in her best team is because it's definitely outclassed by her Lapras in its role as a tanky water and ice Pokemon, having an 11% worse base stat total and is 2 levels lower. Well, there we go everyone, we have discovered Lorelei's true power and unveiled her strongest possible team in the main series games. If you enjoyed this video and are looking forward to more from this series, please be sure to leave a like, share it on social media, and subscribe with notifications on by hitting that bell icon if you haven't already. All forms of support help a ton and are super appreciated. Don't forget to comment down below with what trainer you wish to see featured next. The comment with the most likes will pick the trainer for the next week's episode and will be featured on screen. Before we go, I'd like to give a shout out to my patrons. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you enjoy my content and would like to support the channel and get some cool perks, the link to my Patreon page will be in the description below. This has been Soul Spectre, and I'll see you guys next time for some more True Power.